I've said we need to discuss the games we want to see come to Switch openly. I'm going to do so, and I encourage you to do so as well. Whether you make a similar video, or just discuss games on social media with proper tagging. I'm going to be breaking this into several videos focusing on a specific company to keep things a little more organized, and make it easier for viewers to watch the videos for companies they care about. So, this may be a week with a lot of uploads, or I may space them out by a day or two. This time I'm going to talk about Capcom. One of the most obvious things and a good place to start is Ace Attorney. That is a huge handheld franchise that the Switch needs, whether it comes first as Ace Attorney 7 or a spin-off. I'd also like to see an Okami collection with an HD remake of the first two games, and if the collection does well, make Okami 3 at least a Switch limited time exclusive. It would be an even bigger bonus if Capcom added HD Rumble to the collection. The upcoming Marvel vs. Capcom is another game that Capcom needs to get on Switch, as soon as they possibly can. Then they need to follow it up with the constant fan suggestion of Nintendo vs. Capcom. I really don't know how that hasn't happened yet. Also, an upgraded port of Street Fighter Cross Texan Street Fighter Cross Tekken. Basically polish the graphics, include all the DLC, and maybe add a few Switch exclusive characters like Little Mac, Takamaru, or an ARMS character. Maybe they could release it to get some excitement back when Tekken Cross Street Fighter is finally nearing release. But that's getting close to a Namco discussion. Finally, I'd like to see Capcom make like Ubisoft and break their soft exclusivity deal with Sony and port over Street Fighter V. It didn't sell on PlayStation 4, so Capcom should start backing away from that exclusivity after a year, and bring it to Switch and maybe Xbox. If they need to make it Super Street Fighter V or something, they should do that. I also would support a Beautiful Joe with the possibility for a new game. I never personally got into the IP, but I know it has a very passionate and loyal following. I think it could do well and possibly expand. Finally, Monster Hunter should come. I have no interest in Monster Hunter because it seems like it focuses heavily on the aspect of MMOs that utterly repulses me. But I know many, especially the Japanese, are really into the series, and would be good for the Switch. That may be all of the retail games I want to see, but for Virtual Console and eShop, they need to make sure Nintendo is steadily dumping a lot of their games onto the eShop. Every Mega Man game on compatible hardware, the Breath of Fire franchise, the Street Fighter games, the Darkstalker games. If we don't get a Dreamcast Virtual Console, some of these would have to be eShop games as part of something like a Capcom Classics eShop line. Getting flustered. And that might actually be for the best if Nintendo's going to have a Trickle console again. If they wanted to get, say, Mega Man X7 or X8, God help us. Or how about Onimusha, Mega Man Legends 2 or Breath of Fire 3, which they should, they would have to re-release an eShop game. But it would be a smart move for third parties to move away from the Virtual Console and just release eShop games. Did I forget any recent Capcom games besides Resident Evil 7? Which I could see why it would be a good and a bad choice. Like, I could see the handheld side causing issues if somebody played it in public. Not to mention the experience wouldn't be the same. But getting back from that ADD trip. Leave comments about the Capcom games you think would be great fits, or you just want. I like comments. Which is why I want to start highlighting a recent comment at the end of most of my videos. Superior Guy 508 said on an old video, "Rewatching all of these for the heck of it." It's a comment I can relate to because there are a few series on YouTube that I will rewatch every couple years. And it's cool to know some people consider things I've created to be worth rewatching. Anyway, I'll leave you with these two videos, and I guess Namco will be next.